I've generated over $10 million for me and my clients online in the past 6 years, and in this video I'm going to share the top 5 most valuable lessons that I've learned along the way. And if you stay all the way till the end, I'll share the 6th lesson, which is actually the most important. All right, let's dive into number 1, and that is the business equation. First, before we understand how to scale a business, we need to know what actually is and what constitutes a business, right? So a business at its core is giving people something that they want and they exchange money in return. They give you money back in return, right? So that's essentially what a business is. Now, what's the key metric in the business equation? Well, you've probably heard Alex Hormozi or all these big people talk about it, but I'm going to elaborate on it a little bit more. That equation is lifetime value minus CAC, right? So LTV. So your lifetime value minus your cost to acquire a customer equals your profit per customer, right? If you know your profit per customer, then you know realistically how much you can actually spend in order to acquire a customer, right? Dan Kennedy said it best, the person who can spend the most to acquire a customer will win in the long run of business. And so if you can increase the amount of money that you're able to make per customer by either A, increasing the lifetime value or decreasing the cost to acquire a customer, you can increase the profit per customer, right? Either of these functions will increase your profit per customer. So one thing that I like to take into account here is volume and the actual profitability as a whole of the company, not just per customer. And that's where we're really going to look at the LTV minus CAC times volume equals your profitability. Right? And this formula right here is a core component of business, because if you don't know how profitable and what percentage of profit your business is actually running, you don't know how profitable the business is and if it's even worth enduring. Most people just go into business just to have the ego move to say, hey, I run a business. I get it. It's cool to say that you run a business, but also I don't want to just sit there and say, hey, I'm a business owner. I want to say, hey, I make a lot of money, because I actually do, right? And so that's kind of where it comes into with profitability. Now, you need to be able to do, there's 3 now different metrics that we can do to actually increase the profitability. Our goal is to basically be able to increase the profitability. So there's 3 ways we can increase profitability. Number 1 is we increase our lifetime value of a customer. Number 2 is we lower our cost to acquire a customer. And number 3 is we just increase the amount of volume, the amount of total volume that we're doing through our system. Now, ideally, you want to be working through all 3 of these things, but in point number 2, we're going to be talking about how to actually increase the lifetime value of a customer, because I think that that's the most important one. Because obviously, in theory, you want to be spending more to acquire a customer, because you're going to get better customers, you're going to get better results, and you're going to have a much better opportunity to actually scale your business if you can spend more to acquire a customer. So instead of trying to lower our cost to acquire a customer, we're just going to focus on increasing the lifetime value of the customer and then also increasing volume. So maximizing lifetime value is a game changer in this business. If we can increase the amount of money that we make per client, we'll be able to increase the amount of money that we actually get out at the end of the day and more profit for us. So the easiest way, in my opinion, to gain LTV is 2 ways. 1, to keep people from churning, and then 2 is also to create vertically integrated businesses, which is what we took after we got the churn down as low as we possibly could. We started building other things and other core components of our business that would increase the lifetime value and keep people staying for longer. And so when you build other core components of your business that keep people staying for longer, they go to that thing, they stay with that, and then they're going to stay with the main thing. And so you want to have a lot of different pieces of value. For example, we have our main business, Smooth Operator, and then we have a few other businesses around it, right? We have Social Climb, which is one of our software companies. We have Lead Rover. And inside of Smooth Operator, we also have 2 core components. We have our main Smooth Operator Consulting, our high ticket consulting, and then we have our Growth Incubator. We also have Content Command, which is our content system. We also sell Go High Level. We white label Go High Level. We sell that at a discount, so that's another upsell. So as you can see, from this one small business, we've been able to create multiple different paths of income. And you can see we also have, I'm a plug, right? I have, Instagram connections, meta reps, things like that. I can get people funnels done. I can get people freelancers. We also have Talent Solutions, which is where we place people. We have our Inner Circle. We also have Repost Rocket, which is another software company that we have underneath us. right? So we have all these different things that basically branch out from the core main offer of our business, right? And this, having all of these different features, is going to increase the lifetime value and the lifetime profit of each customer so that we can spend more to acquire those customers. Because one person might come to us for just content command. It's $97, or I think it's actually $197 now. We raised the price on it. They come to us for a $197 offer. Well, we can only spend realistically $197 to acquire that customer. To remain profitable, we only want to be spending about $50 to acquire that customer. That would be 25%, right? And so if they come to us for this, you never know. Maybe they need go high level, right? Maybe they need an Instagram unban. Maybe they need talent solutions. Maybe since they're doing content, they're actually qualified for our one-on-one growth incubator program, right? There's a lot of different things that we can upsell. And since we upsell things, and since we have different offers that we can basically push onto people after they've bought the original offer, we're able to increase and maximize the lifetime value of each and every customer that comes through our doors. So we're not constantly fighting for new customers. We just optimize the ones that we already have. Lesson number 3 is that attention is the new currency in this age, right? We're living in a digital age right now, and without attention, you can't actually get money in the door. Demand, the more demand that you have, is actually equal to the amount of money that you have, and demand also equals status. Even though views don't really matter, if you have 10K followers versus 300 followers, let's say we have one person who has 10,000 followers and one person that has 300 followers. And this other person is going to buy from one of these two different people. Which one are they going to choose? They're going to choose the one with 10,000 followers, even if those followers are fake, because that person has more trust built up and more authority than the person with only 300 followers. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and another huge lesson that I've learned is that it's not all about how much attention, it's not about the volume of attention, it's more about the quality of attention. We have an Instagram page that my business partner started that has like maybe 100, 105 followers on it, and we've already closed like 30K off of it in the past 3 months. Right? The reason that we can do that is because we're attracting not just a lot of eyeballs, but the correct eyeballs. It's not about getting a ton of people to come to your page. It's about getting the right people to come to your page and actually buy your stuff. No one actually cares about views. They care about money. And so if you are not actually optimizing for money and for getting people to actually look at your stuff and the quality of people, then you're not going to actually make that much money in the business. I was reading an article the other day talking about an Instagram influencer with over 2 million followers. I think it was 2.6 million followers that couldn't sell 36 t-shirts to her audience. Why is that? Because she did not know the power of attracting the right people. She generated a lot of attention, but not a lot of demand. And so if you're just focused on how can you get as many eyeballs as possible, but not focused on how you can get the right eyeballs, there's a very low probability that you will actually be successful in business. So the attention formula in my eyes is attention. Attention equals content plus distribution plus retention. So this is the formula for generating attention, and from this we can create demand. So I always look at attention almost as a funnel, right? Up here at the top, we have attention, right? This first piece here is attention. Then we have demand. Then we have buyers and cash, right? Our goal is to attract as many people in this stage of the funnel as possible. We don't really care about that many people in this stage, but we do care about people in this stage and the bottom stage. This is going to be maybe like 10% of your audience. This is going to be about 20% of your audience, and this is going to be the other 70% of your audience. The majority of people are tire kickers. They're never actually going to buy anything, and they're going to end up in the attention phase. This is not what we want. We want to optimize for views that are actually quality views, that actually buy our stuff, right? We don't really care about this attention because it equals no money. Demand creates buyers, and people move and flow through this funnel in a way where people actually will buy. If we have these three things, we have content, distribution, and retention, we'll be able to create these things, which is buyers and cash, which is our goal. Now, a huge point here, and this is lesson number 4, is actually get what the market wants, right? So lesson 4 is going to be talking about offer. And I know you have hundreds of videos talking about offer, just repeating what Alex Hormozi has told you, but this is the number 1 actual lesson that I've actually learned about offer that's not just, hey, build a good offer or what's in Alex Hormozi's course. The biggest thing about your offer is basically going to the market and building your offer around the market, not building your offer around what you think the market wants, right? You need to talk to the market. And this is through sales, right? Talk to the market. So everything in business is basically just these four components. Here we have a cliff, right? We have our guy here, name him Joe. And Joe wants to go over here. This is his dream outcome. Or his desires. Over here, Joe is stuck in his pain. And in order for Joe to get from his pain point to his dream outcome, there's a gap. This is the gap in the market. This gap represents the thing that's holding him back from actually being able to cross over to his dream outcome. The solution that we are selling is called the bridge. It's the thing that takes him from his pain points to his desire. This bridge is basically your solution and your product. So if Joe wants to cross over from his pain to his desires and he has this big gap, if you come to Joe and the thing that he needs to cross from his pain points and his desires is, say, doing paid ads, and you come to Joe and you tell him, hey, I'll write you some emails, Joe is going to say fuck off because he doesn't need emails. It's not going to actually help him cross this gap. But if you come to Joe and you say, hey, I'll run your paid ads for you and help you out, just as an example, and that's what the market wants, Joe represents the market. If you give the market what they want, they will buy. Because it will take them, if they believe that it will take them from their pain to their desire, they will buy the product. You need to be building your offers around the market, not building the offers around what you want. And this is where I go into my moat framework. A moat is a ditch surrounding a castle. In your business represents the castle. A moat is basically just water that goes around a castle to protect the goods inside of that castle and to protect the kingdom. Your business is the castle and it is the kingdom. That's what you're building. So there's four things in your moat that you need to have to separate you from the competition and separate you from what everyone else is doing. So the M in moat stands for market fit or product market fit. Again, this is going to the market to get advice on what you actually want to work. This is like just we want. Market fit or product market fit, as you may have heard it called before, is basically going to the market and asking them what they want, right? This is trying to figure out their true desires, their pain points, and being able to speak to that audience so that they actually buy your stuff. The O stands for offer structure. This offer needs to have high perceived value and low risk on the client's perspective. The A stands for acquisition channel. While you do need to have a unique offer, that's not going to be the thing that actually keeps you going. The thing that's going to keep you going is a unique or very, very strong acquisition channel. You need to figure out what competitive moats you can create in your acquisition channel. For example, one thing that we did was we used what we call the leveraged loom system, where we send out custom personalized looms to influencers when we were first starting in order to actually get them to reply and then eventually get them to work with us. And that worked very, very well because no one else was sitting there sending custom personalized looms in the way that we were. And then number 4 is trust. You need to build trust through your audience. Whether that's through ads, whether that's through content, reviews, testimonials, you need to have a lot of trust built up, and that's going to create that competitive moat around your castle or your business. Now think about it for a while. What actually is your competitive moat? What makes you special, different, or the one? What makes you different than everyone else in your industry? And for us, that is systems. Systems is lesson number 5. At the end of the day, hustling will only take you so far. I'm a big fan of grinding it out and working a lot, working long days because I just enjoy it. However, if you're just focused on how can I hustle more, you're never going to actually make progress. Your goal is not to build systems. Your goal is not just to work more hours, it's actually to have more leverage on those hours that you are working. The biggest competitive moat that we have is our systems. We have systems that, as far as I'm aware, no one else has. We've created SOPs, we've created processes, everything's copy-paste, and we just paste that into a business. If you solve one piece of the gap, but you don't solve the whole gap, you're not going to actually be able to get people to buy because they're going to see you as a one-solution business. You don't want that. You want to be seen as the person who can solve all of their problems because they will pay you significantly more. And so the way that we do that is through hiring. We hire the most incredible talent that we can find, and then we basically build our systems around those people. We find the things that these talented people do, and then we build the system around that. All right, so you've made it through all 5 tips, and I want to give you a quick bonus tip. This is going to be the exact roadmap to scale your business. So right now, I'm going to break down my full scale framework. These are the 5 biggest levers you can pull right now to actually make progress and scale your business in this moment. Number one is just simplifying your offer. A lot of people try to overcomplicate this. If you have too many choices, you confuse the audience. Make it as clear as humanly possible. Number two is we need to capture attention. There's two ways of doing that. You can either earn your way in with time and content, or you can just buy your way in with ads. Either way, we need to start capturing attention and turning it into demand. Number three, we need to automate repetitive tasks and operations. The easiest way to do this, if you haven't already, is hiring VAs to do the manual work, the repetitive labor. For example, some of the first things that we outsourced was go high level, sending emails, writing copy. All of that can be outsourced to VAs, and it will be pretty much better than if you paid an American to do it in 99% of cases. The other easiest way that you can automate operations is by using AI. L stands for leveraging existing customers. Remember a minute ago when I drew out that circle with the circles around it? That's what you need to be doing. You need to figure out what other things you can add on to your offer to boost the LTV of that offer that you're running. The other day I had a client that bought our Growth Incubator 4.0 program, and as I was onboarding him, I basically upsold him to another $4,000 package. He ended up paying me a lot more because if I hadn't have leveraged that existing customer, I would have to go find a new customer to pay me that $4,000. Instead, I just upsold him and he paid me even more. And E stands for expanding your channels. I highly recommend getting into whether it be content and ads or multiple different forms of acquisition. I've been banned from a ton of different things, and this is probably the number one piece of advice that I would give my younger self is diversify as much as possible. I've been in so many different situations where I've gotten banned from something, suspended from something, and you don't want to be all in one spot. Now, this is just the basics of my scale framework, but if you want a full free training on how to do that, just click the first link in the description. It'll give you a full free training on how to scale your online service-based business to hopefully 100K per month. And that way you can work with us. We work with businesses who are doing over 100K a month to basically scale them up. And if that's something that you are doing and you want to work with us, go ahead and book in a call below as well.